Good evening and welcome to Anime-Zing Radio here on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. I'm your host, Doug Engler. Joining me as always in the co-host seats are our good friends, Mr. Darren Starling.
Hi.
And Angela.
Hello.
We want to remind everybody, Anime-Zing Radio is brought to you tonight by HomecircleMedia.com for the latest and greatest in anime gear, everything from pens, pencils, stationery, and officially licensed art books. Be sure to check out HomecircleMedia.com today or look for them at an upcoming convention near you. We're also brought to you tonight by KC Fox for all of your artwork, cosplay, and photography needs. Be sure to check out KC Fox, that's KAYCIFOXX, on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. We're also brought to you tonight by Darren.
Yes, if you're in the Raleigh-Durham area and need lawn care landscaping done, please look me up, Triple S Lawn Care on Facebook.
We're also excited to announce that we are official sponsors of PoochieCon's Pennsylvania and New Jersey conventions this year. So if you're in either location, be sure to check them out at PoochieCon. That's PUCHICON.com. Find out the dates and the locations that they're going to be at. We are definitely going to be at the Pennsylvania convention in May, hoping to be able to make the New Jersey one as well. So if we're able to make them both, be sure to stop by and say hi. We are excited tonight. We have got a fantastic guest that's joining us. Unfortunately, she can only stay for a little bit, but we are still really excited to have her welcome her and have her join us. She's been a guest on the show multiple times. You know her best as Chise from the Ancient Magus Bride. She was also Red in Banished from the Heroes Party. Please welcome Dani Chambers to the show.
Hello. Hi, everybody.
And thank you so much for coming on and hanging out with us for a little bit tonight. It's always great to have you on the show with us.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
And I wanted to jump in because I had a big question that popped off right off the top of my head because I am loving She Professed Herself Pupil of the Wise Man.
Oh.
And you voice Amelia in that. Mm-hmm. And I have to ask, do you hear Flicker's nonsense before you record or is that after?
It depends if Brittany records first or I record first. But most of the time, I record first.
It's probably easier that way, but I don't know. I don't think Darren, you or Angela have had a chance to check this show out yet, but Flicker is very rambunctious and over the top when it comes to the main female character.
Yes.
Like, dotting over her ridiculously. And Dani's character is an elf who has to kind of rein her in, like smash her over the head with stuff, drag her away.
Pretty much.
What was it like to voice that?
It was a lot of fun because I did some assistant directing on that show, and I actually got to direct Brittany for one of the episodes. So that was actually really funny. So while she was doing her lines, I was sitting there cracking up, not trying to ruin the take when she was doing them. So it was just really cool. No, it's a lot of fun doing that character, trying to not be the goofy one and trying to be the serious one to stop her from going crazy is always a blast because it's like, okay, I got to bring the reality in. It's just a lot of fun, and I really enjoy doing that.
And hello to everybody out there who's tuning in. We have Ross in the chat room who is excited about the voice actor of Emilico from Shadow House.
Oh, yeah. Hi, Ross. Thank you for watching the show. I love Shadow's House. My baby Emilico.
I'll be honest, due to the craziness of the week, I did not get a chance to start watching that one, but I have watched the other two that you suggested to me.
Oh, nice. Yeah, no, Shadow's House is really cute.
And talking about Red, I kind of snickered how it happened where we have you joining us this week, and then next Sunday we have Aaron who voices Red from you voice Rit. I misspoke earlier. You voice Rit in Banished from the Heroes Party, and Aaron voices Red. What was it like to be a part of that show?
It was really cool. I think it's like my first like official romance anime that I've done. So it was really cool being like this badass character who's like a princess, but also like goes out and does adventures and, finds her true love in the show. So it was really, really cute. And I had a blast working on that show. Working with Chris Waycamp was a lot of fun.
And Anjan, that's a show I think you might like. Danny's character in that is, as she says, she's a princess. She's a C rank adventurer, and I know, like in the RPG world, that's a decently skilled character.
Yep. Now the past couple of weeks, just with work and other things, have just been so busy that I did not. That was one I meant to check out before tonight, and then just got way too busy.
Oh, understandable. There's never enough time in the day to see all the anime.
And Mario in the comments says you absolutely killed it as Rip, and he's looking forward to a second season.
Oh, thank you. I do hope there's a second season, but right now I think there's only 4 volumes out of the light novel. So if they did do a second season, we'd have to wait probably for like another year or 2.
I would definitely be happy with a second season. I went into the show open-minded. With all the isekais and all the anime that follows a very similar storyline, it kind of get to the point of, trying to figure out what makes each one sets each one apart. And this one, and Banished from the Heroes Party, actually was really, really good. I also liked the fact that the hero was Red's sister, which was kind of a neat twist.
Oh yeah, that was really cool. She's like the hero that that whole show is just very good because it kind of makes you think about a lot of the protagonists that are burdened with the hero itself, and then what they have to go through in order to save the world. It's really eye-opening and kind of like, oh my god, that's a lot of pressure to put on just one character. So it's a real good thinker too.
It really is. And like I mentioned before, we've had Danny on the show multiple times. For our introduction to your work was Chise and the Ancient Magus Bride. Is it crazy to see how your career has just blown up since that role?
Yes, it's been a huge blessing to be where I'm at now. Like the opportunities that I had been given and all the other projects that I got to voice in, it's been phenomenal. And I am very grateful for everything that's been given to me through the opportunity to audition. And, there's even more stuff coming, and I wish I could tell you, but I can't.
We totally understand the whole NDAs and being sworn to secrecy until official announcements are made.
And we do have a comment asking what it was like doing My Hero Academia.
I can see the comments here. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Yay, thank you. It was cool. I voiced Mahiro in the Heroes Rising movie, and that was so much fun because in the first half of the movie, the dialogue and everything to help advance the plot. But the last 30 minutes of my session was just me screaming Bakugo and Deku for the last 30 minutes. And I was going to kick out of that because it's just yelling for the last 30 minutes. And I was like, oh, my throat was so tired that day. And I also voiced Mawata Fuwa in the TV series. We don't really know much about them yet. So hopefully we get more information when more of the manga comes out, and I really hope that we find out because apparently she's going to be important somehow. So shrugged shoulders.
And Ross in the chat room wants to know if you are excited that Shadow's House got a season 2.
Very much, yes. Yes. Because I'm like, they left us on a kind of a cliffhanger. Because it ended differently than the manga did. And I think the reason why they did that is because they weren't sure if they were going to get a season 2 or not. So they kind of had to make an original ending in case it ended as they wouldn't get a season 2. So the ending's kind of mixed reviews, but I still think it's a really fun show. It's it's kind of like Promised Neverland vibes a bit, and a lot of mystery, a lot of like gothic art. I think people would enjoy. So yeah, can't wait to see what else they throw out with season 2.
Now, one show that we have talked about a lot on the program here, that an anime that's out right now, you have a small part in, is My Dress Up Darling.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yes.
what is it like to voice Noah?
Oh, it's it's a joy because I feel like she's pretty much me with a Valley Girl accent. Because she loves candy. She likes just going with the flow, and she's usually always eating something, and that's me because I snack a lot. So I'm like, oh yeah, that's pretty much me with a lollipop. So it's fine. But no, it's fun. I really like the premise of the show. It's really cute, and I can't wait to see what else happens in that show. I hope it does get a season 2 if they don't wrap it up nicely.
It needs a season 2. Then Marin, I made a bold statement like after 3 episodes of My Dress Up Darling, saying Marin was best girl of the season for winter 2022, possibly best girl of the year, in my opinion.
Interesting. That is very bold.
And while thus far I will agree on the winter season,
Yes, I would.
best of the
say yes.
year remains to be seen.
The year hasn't finished yet. Hold on.
And one of my favorites is getting a season 2 later on in the year. So we'll see if best girl remains to be Marin.
Oh shoot.
And Darren just chuckles. What was it, the post that I shared with you last week, Darren? Was it Marin or Comey? Who would you choose? And you're like, I can't pick between the two of them.
I would probably pick Marin, but I love Comey too.
Comey is adorable.
Now, I'm sure you've been bombarded with questions from fans about the recent merger of Funimation and Crunchyroll, moving all of the streaming stuff going up from the spring 2022 season forward to Crunchyroll. How has that affected your work as a voice actress? Do you think that it's going to increase your workload where, Crunchyroll exclusive animes are now going to be mixed in with Funimation, or do you think it's just going to be work as normal for you?
I think it's honestly going to be work as normal. The whole merger is awesome because a whole bunch of anime in one place, which is cool. Yeah, I don't think it's going to change very much. I think we're just going to see a lot more anime, and that's up to the directors and the casting directors. If they want to give me more work, that'd be great. I'm always down. But no, I'm excited. I can't wait to see what else is in store for the studios to come together and bring us as much anime as possible.
And the more anime they bring us, of course, it leads to more work for you, which is the important thing as well. So we can be able to experience more of you've done a great job in all the roles that I've seen you a part of. As you know, I'm a big fan of yours all the way back from Chise, and we've supported you for years.
Yeah, and I definitely appreciate that. Like, we appreciate you guys so much whenever you say that, because it's like, yes, people out there like our work. That means we're doing a good job.
And Darren, you had a question for Dani.
Yes. Did you hear the news that was announced earlier today regarding one of the series you're in getting a new season?
All I know is Shadow's House and no, that's it.
Jobless Reincarnation.
Oh yeah, yes. Oh, dude, that's so fun. Interesting though, my fiance, he's actually in the show. He plays Geese.
Oh wow.
Yeah, he voices Geese, and he showed it to him. He's like, guess what? So he's super excited too.
I'm not gonna lie, it's probably one of the better anime quality story everything to come out in quite a long time.
Yeah, no, it's really good. The only thing that I'm not a huge fan of, like the whole fan service thing in general, um, but I think it's really good as for the anime because it takes you in directions that you didn't expect it to go. Like the very first Turning Point episode. Um, like when you're watching it, you're like, okay, just trying to see Rudius do his thing. Homeboy's in a new body, trying to, make his life work, trying to make new decisions. Okay, fine, whatever. And then when the turning point happens when they all get teleported, you're like, excuse me, what just happened?
Mm-hmm.
I was so mad. I was like, I thought this is gonna be a fantasy. Like, I thought this was gonna be kind of cool. Nope.
Nope. It had other plans for you.
Yep.
And,
I was like, what?
and there's a reason this particular series is one of the original isekais, and also they wanted to be very special with it because they created this studio specifically for this anime.
Oh man. Yeah. It's just interesting how it all got kind of like put together, and I'm not surprised, but I am like taken aback by how big how big of a following this show has now, like from when it first started to now, and seeing it get the recognition it deserves it just makes me so happy.
And another question that has come in from the chat room, Ross wants to know, he said, last exciting question of Shadow House. I'm trying to hold back. Does Dani have a favorite episode or scene of Shadow House without spoiling it for Doug?
Probably it's one of my favorite scenes. There's a song, it's a cleanup song that they sing, I think in episode 3. She meets the rest of the crew in the Shadows house, and it's so cute because they're like, oh, they're cleaning up. But when you listen to the lyrics, you're like, that's kind of weird. I'm not going to say what the lyrics are because I'll wait till you get to it. But it's like, this is kind of cute, but also a little bit creepy.
That sounds like it might be up your alley, Ange. Cute and creepy.
That I was gonna say, I've done my share of watching that.
Dude.
Now, we're here. 2022 conventions are starting to come back.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any convention appearances coming up?
I do. Hold on, let me pull up my calendar if I can. Sorry if you hear clicking on the...
If technology wants to cooperate.
Yeah. Let's see. Okay, yes, I have April 1st through the 3rd. I'm going to CypherCon in Lake Charles, Louisiana. I'll be there for all 3 days, and then I'm going to Anime St. Louis at the end of April, the 22nd through the 24th. So I will be there, and I don't think I have anything else lined up yet, but it's coming.
I have put your name into multiple conventions in the New England area, so hopefully something may come to fruition, including Anime Boston, who has yet to announce any guests, and that's coming up at the end of May. So it's like, I got some ideas if you want to get some cool people up. That's not the same ones that you've had many times before.
Yeah, no, maybe they're just finalizing some contracts or whatever. But no, that's cool. I'm down. I'm so down to go anywhere.
And I know that you have a lot of fans up in the New England area. I remember shortly after the Ancient Magus Bride had come out that year at Anime Boston, I think we had like 5 different couples of Elias and Chise cosplayers come up to the table because my wife was vending in the Artist Alley at that point. So I know there's a lot of your fans up this way.
Yeah, I really wish it got a season 2, but I'm like, there's so much you could do when she goes to college. Please.
We need more Chise.
Please.
Now, It's been a little bit since you were on with us last time. I think last time you were on with us, we were talking about Smile Down the Runway.
Mhm.
And I think it was After School Dice Club you were part of as well, if I remember correctly.
What happened? You broke up there. What'd you say?
Oh, I was saying, I think you were a part of After School Dice Club as well.
Yes, I voiced Aya.
And After School Dice Club was a fun show. I've talked about it. I seem to like those animes that are kind of like give you a behind the scenes of something that you wouldn't expect. You know,
Mm-hmm.
After School Dice Club giving you an idea of the board game world, tabletop gaming, something like with video games nowadays. Tabletop has kind of become a lost art, and I think you can agree with that, where you don't see it as much.
That is becoming less and less true. That was true for a very long time.
Yes, I actually love board games. Like I'm trying to start a collection of board games now. It's just having the space for them. But it's board games are just a lot of fun because you can hang out with people and like be mad but not really and learn new skills. Like one of my favorites is Here to Slay. It's from the people who made Exploding Kittens and Unstable Unicorns. It's so good. It's like D&D also with their like Exploding Kittens stuff. It's really fun. I really suggest checking it out.
Yeah, no, board games, and with board games, it's really about nowadays it's really about what type of game do you want to play.
Mm-hmm.
Because yeah, you can do the typical PvP type stuff that sometimes, depending on the game, can destroy friendships. But then you've also got there's a lot of co-op PvE games out there where it's basically the entire table is trying to work together to kill an unseen thing.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
And I know I laugh when you say destroying friendships. All I can think of was the Risk game that my ex brother-in-law and I played. That lasted. Playtime was over 35 hours.
Oh no!
Actual days. It extended, I think, 3 weeks with the game to set up on the table, and we played almost nightly for like 3 weeks before there was an actual winner.
Yep, I've had my share of Risk games go on way too long.
Yeah, let's see. There's Risk, and then there's also Settlers of Catan.
Settlers of Catan is so much fun with the right people.
Yes.
I've heard of it, but I have not played it.
All I'm gonna say to that is you've probably seen the meme of building an entire city out of sheep.
I actually haven't.
Pretty much.
Actually, I'm trying to think. I might have seen a gameplay of it. I think Will Wheaton on the YouTube channel he was a part of might have played that, because that's also where I discovered Ticket to Ride and a few other board games.
Ticket to Ride is another really fun one.
Oh yeah! Oh, I haven't played that in forever.
That's it. Road trip to Texas, party at Danny's house. No.
I don't think you want to come to my house. I don't have enough space.
Okay, party at Darren's.
I was gonna say you don't.
Yeah, most of us here are in small apartments.
I got a 3-bedroom house with only me living here.
So the party's at Darren's.
Technically, we have a 3-bedroom house. I say technically because I actually do live in Boston, and it's probably a quarter of the size of Darren's, if that.
Oh wow!
I keep saying that if I was in college right now, I would be the party house, simply for the fact my back deck is enough to entertain probably 30, 40 people easy.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah,
So-
when oh god.
So when's the party at Darren's house? Is that what you're gonna ask, Ange?
No, I'm just
We just go down there. We'll go to one of the North Carolina cons. Just stay at his place.
I
We'll
got
just have
two.
we'll have Danny come up too, and just all hang out.
I got two
Party.
empty bedrooms.
and then we just bring us that everybody picks a board game.
Yes, I agree.
Sure.
Sorry, Darren. We're just kind of making plans to crash your house now. I guess.
I'll
I
bring the
don't care.
chips.
And I'll take over the kitchen and bake a cake.
Yes.
Okay. About to say, send this to Danny if you can, Doug.
Oh god, what did you just send?
Copy, and I gotta get it. So that's his backyard. That's his back deck.
That's my back deck.
Oh, yeah, definitely a party over there. That's really nice.
Thank you.
Yeah, the gazebo and everything. Yes, please.
If I'm not mistaken, the neighbors said that there used to be a hot tub under that thing at one point.
I can see it.
What I want to do is try and get some like retractable screens or whatever and go around it. That way it'll be a place to sit out during the summertime and I ain't got to worry about mosquitoes.
That's smart.
Yup.
And there's already a fan set up in the dead center of it, and there's outlets in the top corners of it. So
Yes, please. Yes. I agree.
Getting back to your career, what is it like getting into not just being the voice actor, but starting to do some assistant directing and stuff?
Oh, that's so much fun. I tell you, I feel like every actor should probably try directing at some point, just for a little bit, because it gives you such a different perspective coming on the other side or going on the other side. And it's kind of eye opening, and it kind of makes you think about different choices you would give somebody else when it comes to different takes of the character. So it's a joy, and I love doing it, and I can't wait to do more. Eventually, I want to have my own show, but fortunately, I'm not ready for that yet. I don't want to do that now. It's too much pressure. I'm good with just assistant directing. So once that happens, I am going to be ecstatic.
Now, obviously, when the pandemic happened, it kind of put a halt on the recording, and everybody had to make changes and, make a home studio, things of that nature. How much of a adjustment period was it for you, and was it really difficult to adjust from going to a studio to creating a home one?
It was very hard because at first I wasn't sure. I didn't have a lot of equipment. I was living with two people, and I told them, I'm like, I'm a voice actor and we're going to start recording at home. So I filled my closet with as much clothes, foam, and anything I could find to soundproof it. And it ended up working for a little bit. Then I moved again, and I didn't have as much closet space to make a booth. So I ended up getting a booth built by a friend and kind of, making this booth to work. And it actually worked. It actually worked. I still actually use it to this day, and has been very, very helpful. So I'm like, yes, yes, yes.
And have you found it to be easier at times to just work from home? You can just get up, doesn't matter, just don't have to worry about getting dressed up to leave the house. You can just kind of get up, have coffee, go into the booth, start doing some auditions or things of that nature? Or?
Yes. Oh, it is so nice not having to drive to the studios. Though I do miss it. I miss seeing everybody, but getting up and getting somewhat ready for the day, but not having to put on work clothes. Like I could just literally record in my pajamas if I wanted to. So it's very, very, very convenient and comfortable.
Do you has Funimation or any of the other studios given an idea when they think that they're going to be opening the doors back up for you guys to come back into the booth to record at the studios? Or
I honestly have no idea. I wish I did know so I could prep myself, but unfortunately, I do not know.
and I know that you are almost out of time because of a meeting coming up here in a little bit. But before we let you go, we want to thank you for joining us, of course. Let everybody know where they can find you on social media. I know you talked about a couple of conventions and any shows that you're working on that you can talk about. Let everybody know where they can find you.
Yeah, once again, my name is Dani Chambers. You can find me at Twitter at SkinnyMini07, Instagram at Danny D Chambers, and TikTok at SkinnyMini07. I really should just make that all the same. It should just be easier. I'll check on Instagram. But yeah, I got a SciFiCon coming up in Lake Charles, Louisiana in the first weekend in April. And I have Anime St. Louis the 21st, I believe, to the 23rd in April as well. So I would really love to come see. I'd really like to see you guys if you're in that area. And yeah, thanks so much for watching. Oh, I have a couple of things coming out. So if you're not following me, be sure to follow me on social medias because I'll make an announcement. And I think I got a couple of them coming out soon. So please, please, please go check it out.
Definitely, we want to thank you so much for joining us tonight. I do hope that we can get you to a con up in the areas where I can travel to because I already know a couple of autographs that I want to get from you.
Yeah. No, I'm excited. I got some new ones coming. So yes.
I know tops on the list include Chise, of course, from Ancient Magus Bride. And if you get an Amelia from Pupil of the Wise Man, I would want that one as well because, God for, give her strength for dealing with Flicker. Flicker is just, I love that character. And it's like, because of how outrageous that character was, I had to see who voiced her in English. And hopefully we can get that voice actress on the show to talk about Flicker because, oh my God. And she will love Flicker.
She is so funny.
Go ahead.
No, and I'm just like, whereas I'm just like, hey, other women who enjoy board games, we are few and far between.
Yes. We gotta. If I end up coming up there eventually, yes, we gotta do a board game day.
We could definitely set something up and get you to like Anime Boston or something like that because we will definitely be, Angela and I will both be at Anime Boston. Hopefully we get press. We're waiting to hear back from that. If not, we will still be covering it for the show, just without hopefully we get the press badge.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. Well, thank you guys for having me on the show. I really appreciate it. You guys are always great to talk to, and I hope you have a good rest of your night.
You as well.
Likewise, it was lovely meeting you.
You too.
And hopefully we can get you back on the show again real soon when your schedule is a little less hectic. But I know when you get work, you need take the paying gigs over us. I have no issues. I totally understand the business.
Oh, good. Thank you guys so much. Y'all have a great day.
You too.
You too.
Bye.
Hey, everybody. That was Dani Chambers who joined us tonight. We are really excited that she was able to hang with us for just the half hour. Unfortunately, she did have a busy schedule tonight and had to run early. But fear not, we are getting ready to look at the spring 2022 animes that are coming out. I know Darren hates them all, so he's probably not going to say much.
Pretty much.
And sometimes I wonder if Darren hates life. Just kidding.
No, he just hates us. That's why he falls asleep. And Darren, we usually know when you're out because I will make a snarky comment about like DxD or Pokemon, which I know if you were awake and conscious for, you would have a rebuttal. And if we hear nothing, then we know we lost you. But looking ahead to the spring 2022 season, a lot of good shows that are coming out. As you mentioned already, Darren, Rising of the Shield Hero Season 2. Kaguya-sama Love is Wars has a Season 2 coming out. Date Alive Season 4. Komi Can't Communicate Season 2 is coming out as well. So a lot of sequels, a lot of extended seasons.
And there was one other sequel that I didn't realize. Give me 2 seconds to pull it back up. My time's up. Oh yeah. Science fell in love, so I tried to prove it.
I remember you talking about that one. You said that one was kind of cute.
Yeah, basically you got two brainiacs that know nothing about love, and they're trying to prove love is nothing more than science. And it is hilarious watching them come up with all these theories and crap they do.
And Spy Family was one that you guys had brought up as well. What's that one about?
It was up near the top on my anime list. Come on, computer, cooperate.
That sounds too much like work.
It's pretty much. It's pretty much.
Oh, here it is.
Yeah.
Spy Family. For the agent known as Twilight, no order is too tall if it is for the sake of peace. Operating as Westalia's master spy, Twilight works tirelessly to prevent extremists from sparking a war with neighboring country Estonia. For his latest mission, he must investigate Estonian politician Donovan Desmond by infiltrating his son's school, the prestigious Eden Academy. Thus, the agent faces the most difficult task of his career: get married, have a child, and play family. Twilight, or Lloyd Forager, quickly adopts the unassuming orphan Anya to play the role of a 6-year-old daughter and prospective Eden Academy student. For a wife, he comes across Yor Breyer, an absent-minded office worker who needs a pretend partner of her own to impress her friends. However, Lloyd is not the only one with a hidden nature. Yor moonlights as the lethal assassin Thorn Princess. For her, marrying Lloyd creates the perfect cover. Meanwhile, Anya is not the ordinary girl she appears to be. She is an Esper, the product of secret experiments that allowed her to read minds. Although she uncovers their true identities, Anya is thrilled that her new parents are cool secret agents. She would never tell them, of course. That would ruin the fun. Okay, this sounds fascinating.
You know what? Do you know what it kind of sounds like? Just with the whole kids thing and the parents having double lives kind of thing. It sounds like the. Do you remember a show on Disney called The Replacements?
Yeah. I can kind of see that.
Because you had a secret agent mom, and then you had a daredevil dad, and they did a lot of stuff together as a family, and they were technically adopted per se. Even though I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, they actually turned out to be their real parents. I don't remember, because from what the little bit that they showed, because I didn't have cable, I'm pretty sure ABC was very good with the reruns on their Saturday morning cartoon block.
And Mario says, Spy X Family is top tier. Angela, get on that.
It's on my list.
Maybe he's talking about the source material too.
No, that's one of the.
That's one of the non-sequels that's on her list.
Actually, we didn't put any sequels on our list for this season.
Shame on you for not putting Shield Hero. Oh wait, you probably haven't seen it.
Bingo.
I haven't seen Shield Hero either. Right now, the only extended season that's on my list is Data Live Season 4 because I love that series. As Angela knows, Darren and I go back and forth about Best Girl on that all the time.
Yeah.
Precisely. And I'm trying to.
Although I will say the ultimate cosplay from Data Live is Toka. For anybody who knows that character, you have got the badass female character with an amazing outfit, huge weapon, just like it's just like your ultimate cosplay.
His ex-wife was like, "Hey, we have this TV. You want this TV? We're gonna get rid of it, but you can have it." And he's like, "Yeah, of course I like the TV, right?" Because he's working with a monitor. It's like this big and weighs like 50 pounds. It's a shitty thing. So they're like, "Yeah, take the TV." He gets it, and
You're having too much fun right now, Darren.
I know.
On the thing.
Well, the
Next
first
up,
one was to try and get Angela interested. The second one was for you.
He's like, "Are you kidding?"
no, Maple does not appear in Rising of the Short Hero.
It's completely
Maple is
visible, but
best
it's like,
girl.
That's gotta feel awful. Then it's like the day you got it, you cracked it.
Maple is definitely best girl of both Fury and has best sidekick ever with Syrup.
And here,
Exactly.
So you can still use it as a TV as long as you don't line the
But-
lines. And
But getting back to the spring season, the next one up on the My Anime list is
it's like you can't even see the crack.
Shikimori's Not Just a Cutie.
That sounds like something I'd watch.
Shikimori seems like the perfect girlfriend. Cute, fun to be around, sweet when she wants to be, but she has a cool dark side that comes out under the right circumstances. And her boyfriend Izumi loves to be around when that happens.
I see her looking at it. That's why.
Yeah, it. Like I said,
Why are you going like this though?
I'm not sure what to make of that. That might be one that I would check out. It's a comedy romance slice of life, so it kind of fits in the genres of what I've been watching lately. But I don't know. Something really has to like grab my attention on that.
Yep, and
I'm so glad that you guys showed me that because that's like me. I like anime, but not enough to seek it out a lot. That's the easiest way now. It's like here's what's new. Pick.
And
I'm just-
Mm-hmm.
there were a lot of sequels this go round, so my list is actually fairly short.
Okay.
They're both trying to stay undercover by
But
taking in this small girl.
Mm-hmm.
Next one up here, Aharen is Indecipherable.
Psychic.
Do you know anything about this one?
Mr. and Mrs. Smith with the
Yes.
psychic check. Okay.
I heard about it a while back. I started
Alright.
reading like the first few chapters, and it was really good. And
Aharen?
it
I could be saying.
but it's a comedy.
there's the spring list,
Um,
and here's a list. of
comedies
things that-
I'm just
that
very,
are
very
chosen.
picky about to begin with.
Cool. I'll take a look and
One of my favorite comedies was,
explain
well,
I'll leave you to
well, if you want to go OG, one of my first comedies was Baka and Test.
It's been so long since I watched Baka and Test.
But Hideyoshi.
That was one of my early animes. I think that was was anime I watched before being with my ex-wife. So that's going back a ways.
One of the ones that we were looking at, if you scroll, if you're looking at the list, Summertime Render.
Because I was reading it out loud. She's like, "Oh," and I was like, "Oh, it's a picture of my wife." She's like, "Who's that again?" I'm like, I mean, both me and my dad were like,
All right, Mystery
we're
Supernatural.
like, let's explain a little bit. And then she's like, we showed her like the picture of him like before everything, and she's like, "Oh," and then she's like, "I don't know if I want to see that." I'm like, "No, you probably don't." And then she just messaged me now. I was like, "God damn it." I'm like,
And I see what you mean by a ton of sequels coming out in April. Because I clicked on two of them, and both were sequels, including the one Darren was talking about. The
so I just wanted to bring that up. It's
Science
like,
fell in love and tried to prove it, and then you had Ascendance of a Bookworm season 3.
Yep.
The
Like,
demon.
is there many originals that are coming out, or is it all sequels? Good gosh.
It's not all sequels, but there's a lot of them. Like like when I went through this earlier, it was I clicked on one and then it's like, oh, it's season 4. Oh, it's season 3. Oh, it's season 2. It's like, no.
And you're like, I didn't even see season 1, so why am I going to waste my time on this?
Exactly.
You got more Love Live coming out, Doug.
Oh, I know. I'm excited about. Well, actually, I can't say I'm really excited about it because some of the Love Live, in my opinion, has been meh, and some has been really good. So I'm not sure if I'm going to check out this latest edition that's coming out or not. I've got to find where that was. I know I had to scroll that off. Second season of Love Live. I could just the High School Idol Club second season. I think that's the one I kind of lost interest in, to be honest. I think I started that and watched like 3 episodes and was like, it's not doing anything for me. Another original that's coming out, Cuckoo's Fiance.
Yes.
I think you were talking about that one before, Darren.
Yes. A couple of cuckoos.
And it's a 16-year-old super studier Nagi Umino, second-year student, was switched at birth. On his way to a dinner to meet his birth parents, he accidentally meets the brash, outspoken Erika Amino, who is determined to make Nagi her fake boyfriend, as she never wants to actually marry. But once Nagi makes it to dinner, he finds his parents have decided to resolve the hospital switch by conveniently having him marry the daughter of his birth parents raised, who turns out to be none other than Erika herself. Okay. That's... What?
Anime.
Yup.
This is what happened.
Okay.
It's a comedy romance harem.
Of course, because there's more than one girl in the picture.
No.
I might have to check this one out just because I'm curious. And there doesn't look like there's going to be a ton on my list of stuff to watch.
I forgot about this one. This one, there's a season 2 coming out this season that first debuted 10 years ago. And that would be Blackrock Shooter.
I saw that and like the synopsis looked interesting, except I've not seen any shooter, so it's one of those, well, I'm not sure I can do that without going back and trying to find original stuff. And
Mario, no. There's no need to run that by again.
Tiger and Bunny season 2 this spring as well, Ross put out there.
Yep, and I just, nope. HH agrees with me on Maple.
Yeah. Sorry if I have missed out on some of the comments. I have had the My Anime List spring list open, so I haven't seen much of them.
Time travel anime? Which one is this?
Oh.
Because Ross commented, yes, time travel anime. And I am just, wait, what? Because time travel could be really awesome, but could also be really bad.
Another original that's going to be coming out. Skeleton Knight in Another World. This looks like another isekai for all of you isekai fans. One day, a gamer played video games until he fell asleep, and when he woke up, he found himself in the game world as a skeleton. Equipped with the powerful weapons and armor of his avatar, but stuck with its frightening skeletal appearance, Ark has to find a place for himself in this new, fantastical land. All his hopes for a quiet life are dashed when he crosses paths with a beautiful elven warrior, setting him on a journey full of conflict and adventure.
Nope.
Why does that scream Overlord?
Another one that made me think of you two, not gonna lie. The greatest demon lord is reborn. Is typical novel.
Yeah, because that's really similar to which Demon Lord anime was it? The one that just aired recently.
That just made me think of you guys, not gonna lie. Nah. But another one that I thought looked really good was Eastab Life Great Escape. But it's post-apocalyptic, so kind of right up my alley.
Yeah.
Distant future. After reaching its peak, Earth's population fell into decline. AI was developed to help preserve the species and manage the ecosystem. A grand experiment in human diversity. Through genetic engineering, a diverse array of peoples, including beast folk, magical beings, and more, were created to live in a diverse city separated into walled clusters. And each cluster is developed a unique culture based on who lives there, and it's maintained by the AI. And I like that kind of stuff, so that one's on my list.
And I think Summertime Renderer, I think, was the time travel one.
And I did not find that in the description.
And I think I found another one that's probably on your list.
Which one?
Friends Game.
Friends Game?
Mm-hmm.
Where is that?
AKA Tomodachi Game.
That one I'm on the fence about.
It sounds like another survival game, kind of like King's Game. Why can I not remember names tonight? Danganronpa?
Never played it, never seen it. I know of it. This is actually one of the ones my husband picked. I'm kind of on the fence, but I'll probably end up watching it. And then I'll come back and be like, why? And then 50-50 odds, I'll come back a few episodes in and be like, oh my God, this is so awesome.
And here's an anime for Darren. Trapped in a dating sim, the world of otome games is tough for mobs.
Yeah,
yep.
I saw that one.
I saw the dating. I did see the dating sim description and then went, "Yep, that's Darren."
Yeah.
But I've never been on a date, so how would I know?
That's why you have the dating sims, so you have practice. Like any true anime main male protagonist.
Okay, y'all have heard me talk. Skipping ahead. You guys have heard me talk about Moriarty the Patriot. It's getting an OVA, and I'm super excited.
Oh, Doug.
Yeah.
I found your anime once you're done with this one.
What's that?
I'm quitting here. I'm quitting heroing.
HH has a comment here about.
There's also a series.
それ原則、この世界に出会った君に、ay, ay, ay.
Don't know the American.
Hey, give me a second.
I'm trying to see if I can find that on my anime list. It might have another name on here too. Then there was, while Darren's figuring that out, there was also I'm quitting heroing.
That's what I just said. That's
That's the one you were talking about. I'm quitting
yes,
heroing.
that's for you.
Otome is a great one. I like how they upend the entire script while OP is trying to keep it on course.
Okay, just based off of the picture of this anime, there is a cute like cat raccoon girl. I would probably check it out just because of that character.
God. I suppose by this point, all three of us really are some level of predictable with at least one or two shows.
Yeah.
That's definitely. Okay, the Seven Wise Gods. There's your English title.
Like if I'd found it before now, I'd probably try Kingdom. But I'm not going back and watching 3 seasons. Nope, not doing it.
Come on, you can't be like Gojo and literally watch hundreds of episodes in a short span of time.
I don't have time for that shit.
This is why you have fandom pages, the fandom wikis. You will learn much more than you need to know in a much shorter period of time.
Okay, here's an interesting looking one called RPG Real Estate.
Where did you find that?
That is RPG Fudo-san. The story begins 15 years after the Demon King was defeated and the world has become peaceful. Kotone, who graduated from school and became a magician, inquired about the kingdom's affiliated RPG Real Estate in order to find a new home. In reality, RPG Real Estate was Kotone's place of employment, and together with Fa, a demi-human, the priest Rufuria, and the soldier Rakira, they help support the searches of new homes for the customers with various circumstances.
See,
I don't know.
That's one of those. It could be really good, but it could be really bad. And it's a comedy fantasy, which means
you're gonna skip it. I'm gonna watch it and be like, "This was fantastic," and you're gonna be like, "No, it sucked."
Yep, almost assuredly.
Because for some reason, just like that synopsis gives me the vibes of the type of animes that I enjoy, like the behind the scenes of how to do things, how to figure things out, like New Game with how to make video games, After School Dice Club.
Whereas on that note, I freaking loved Pokemon, which was very much behind the scenes.
Which I have not seen that one.
It's done by the same people that did Death Note and Platinum End, but it's basically how to be a successful manga artist.
So it'd probably be something up my alley. I mean, Dress Up Darling is like a nice behind the scenes inside look of the cosplay community.
I think what it is I'm so picky about comedy. I love me good writing. I love me good characters. I love me a good story. But comedy, just as a general, not my jam.
You must be real fun and I forget trying to figure out where I was going with that one.
to put things into perspective, the last sitcom I watched while it was airing was Seinfeld.
Okay.
I'm just that with comedy as a whole, like the entire genre, I'm just picky. And
Ross says, like to point out that I looked up the characters of couple Cuckoos on Wikipedia, and there is no sign of a harem. It won't happen. It's a simple comedy romance.
How we forget that anime will tend to skew things sometimes.
Yeah. I mean, look at interspecies reviewers. The anime was a lot worse than what the source material was. Hence why it got banned off of so many networks, and Funimation dropped it faster than Vic Mignogna's career. I shouldn't have gone there. I'm gonna get some crap for that, but I couldn't resist the dig.
I'm just gonna not. I'm gonna be good.
Did you watch that, Ange?
Interspecies reviewers?
Nope.
You need to.
You need to. Just for the sheer fact of what it is. Like, if I want to get the anime, I want to watch it unedited. I think that's where the true fun is, with the unedited.
Minus one episode.
Yeah. The egg laying episode we didn't really need, but
I'm based. I just meh.
Now I know that there was Tiger and Bunny season 2 ONA is going to be coming out April 8th. It says show called Bubble.
Bubble.
I don't know what Bubble is. I see Bubble, and it's like one episode.
When you click on it, it gives you an error.
Yes. Which is probably a bad sign for that anime.
Yep.
In Tokyo, where gravity is broken, a boy and a girl are drawn to each other. The story is set in Tokyo after bubbles that broke the laws of gravity rained down upon the world. Cut off from the outside world, Tokyo has become a playground for a group of young people and that's all I got.
A group of young people who have lost their families, acting as a battlefield for parkour team battles as they leap from building to building. Hibiki, a young ace known for his dangerous playstyle, makes a reckless move one day and plummets into the gravity-bending sea. His life is saved by Uta, a girl with mysterious powers. The pair then hear a unique sound audible only to them. Why did Uta appear before Hibiki? Their encounter leads to a revelation that will change the world, and it's apparently Netflix.
Yeah, source Netflix. It's coming from Wit Studios, and it says original.
Oh, Studio Wit's got a reputation, so I have faith.
Yeah, I don't know.
And quite a few movies that are planning on coming out this spring, including more Dragon Ball. Odd Taxi movie is coming out. Movie 5.
Detective Conan movie 25.
Crayon Shin-Chan movie 30.
Mobile Suit Gundam.
Recycle of the Penguin Drum. Compilation of Maru Penguin Drum, including new scenes. Okay. I keep hearing about that anime, never watched.
Then under the unknown tab, we have Mai Tenai Conan Zero no Tea Time. Oh, anime adaptation of the spin-off manga Matenai Conan.
Of course. That art style, I can tell right away by the art style. It's iconic.
So some interesting stuff that's coming out in spring. Like I said, I don't have a ton that really like jumps out at me.
Same.
About to say, you got the anime you wanted, but only halfway. You plan on watching the one about golf?
No.
Doug, it ain't disc golf, but it's still golf.
There's a golf anime. Where
Yes,
is that at?
it's Golf Girls.
Oh, Birdie Swing. Birdie Wing.
Birdie Wing. About to say, can we get a bowling anime sometime soon?
What is
Please?
what is this Birdie Wing?
See, bowling I would probably try. After all,
I'm just saying, we get sports anime for everything else, so why not?
I did watch Sport Climb Girls. I did watch Gymnastic Samurai. I watched Yuri on Ice.
Did you watch Keijo?
No.
You should. That one was really good. Keijo was actually, and taking any fan service and stuff out of it, the storyline and the concept of Keijo, where it was a made-up sport, was actually really clever.
To the point, one country actually tried it.
Yeah. They're trying to make it a legitimate sport and trying to figure out safety measures. I don't know if anything ever happened with that. I haven't heard anything in a while.
How colleges around here actually have Quidditch teams.
Yeah. And thanks to the anime Chiho School Road, I learned what kabaddi was. And then they made a kabaddi anime. I didn't even know that was a sport or never heard of it.
Inglés, por favor.
The sport's name is kabaddi.
Yeah, what the hell is it?
It's like a style of wrestling match. I don't fully know all the rules of it because I did not watch the kabaddi anime that came out a couple seasons ago. But
there was a sumo one not terribly long ago.
And Ross says, look at the anime coming in the spring titled Love After World Domination. I don't know where that would be.
Koiwaseki se fuku no ato de.
How far down is that?
It's right next to Blackrock Shooter.
Oh, okay.
In the eyes of the public, Fudo Aikawa and Desumi Makahara are sworn enemies who have nothing in common. Fudo, also known as Red Gelato, I know I'm butchering that, Gelato, leader of the hero squadron Gelato 5, whose mission is to bring about world peace. On the other hand, Desume is the minion leader of Gecko, a villainous organization seeking world domination. However, despite these differences, their relationship is not quite what it seems. When they are not making a show of being at each other's throats, they continue to pursue a forbidden love, going on dates, baking sweets for one another, meeting up as often as they can despite their hectic schedules. The two inexperienced lovebirds pave the way for their own unique relationship. Though their public lives are worlds apart, they will stop at nothing to make their seemingly impossible romance work.
I'm looking at like the picture here for this anime, and it's like, no. Just the look of it does not interest me at all. And Mario, what anime did you want me to stay away from? I have to ask. Something that piqued my interest, he said stay away.
Agreed. I'm curious now as well.
Now, I will say of the animes I had put on my list that I was planning on watching this season, the winter season, I did check out a couple episodes of World End Harem. And after 3 episodes, it has not really piqued my interest at all, which I'm kind of surprised. I thought that it would be something up my alley, and I'm like, I got too many other things that I think are better.
Where's up my alley?
Whereas my winter list, we actually just watched the brand new episode of Attack on Titan. right before I jumped in, shortly before I jumped into the call. I'd be lying if I said that's not my favorite for the winter season. But out of my original list, we couldn't find one in time to watch. Couldn't find it anywhere. And everything else, minus one. I think we're caught, minus one, maybe two. We're caught up. And Tokyo 24, really, really, really good. But again, that's probably the description alone was probably a fairly predictable me show. And Dress Up Darling, surprisingly, I'm also really, really enjoying that.
I think we all are enjoying that, probably for different reasons. But the show in and of itself, My Dress Up Darling has really, really taken some interesting twists and turns. I love the romance that is starting to develop between Marin and Gojo.
Yup.
Her mannerisms, the fact like she falls in love, and watching it in Japanese with the subtitles, and watching them try to spell out some of the that she does in one of the earlier episodes was hysterical, especially where my wife was trying to read that, even though it was coming up a jumbled bunch of random letters and symbols.
Yep.
And I know we're not the only ones who sat there trying to figure that out and then laughing about it after the fact. But it gives a really good inside look to the world of cosplay. And I like how they go into detail about not just how to make a costume, but going into the makeup, the use of binding and, cosplay tape to change the shapes of the eyes for specific characters. And you get to see how much these people really love these characters, and the heart and soul that go into creating these cosplays is really, an educational thing, especially for those who either A, can't make cosplay, B, want to and have no idea how to start, or, even those who have been cosplaying for years, they probably pick up some different tips and tricks that you may not have known before.
Speaking of which, is everybody caught up?
Yes, I am.
I might.
Episode 9 dropped yesterday.
Then no, I'm a week behind.
Okay, because episode 9, that was a shocker, but hey.
Yeah.
You can't get me to do that, Doug.
We can't get you to cosplay, let alone crossplay. And here I am planning on cross-playing for Anime Boston. Granted, it's, Kobayashi, which is going to be an easy one to do. I don't have to worry about making fake boobs or nothing.
And, oh, good.
Mario says, speaking of AOT, going to watch the latest dubbed episode tomorrow afternoon.
Yep. Episode 84 was the episode we watched this evening, and it continues to be what the fuck.
Well, your final episode is going to be an hour-long episode, so hopefully you'll get a good resolution. Yeah,
That's
some kind of resolution.
I am hoping for a good resolution.
I will say, of the shows that I had on my list of ones to watch for the winter 2022, the only one that I really have dropped was World End Harem. I am still keeping up with all the rest of them. Strongest Age with the Weakest Crest. I watched the latest episode on that tonight. She professed herself pupil of the wise man. I know a lot of people had questions about that last week, because that was the only one that had been keeping up in English as they dropped the Japanese as well. So I'd been watching it in English up until last week's episode. The English dub did not come out. It only was released in Japanese on Funimation. and I did not see it on Crunchyroll. So I'm wondering if they're a week behind. I didn't get a chance to ask Dani about that because I also know her character stopped a couple episodes before the one that just released. So I didn't know if she would know anything about that or if that would be a spoiler giving away, future things to come.
Ross is saying best new girl had the entire episode of Dress Up Darling.
I know who he's referring to, and as adorable as that new girl is, Marin is still better, in my opinion. But, that's anime fans. We're all going to agree to disagree on who's the best character in a specific series.
Well,
Yep.
she's better than her sister.
But it was definitely interesting. And we're not going to spoil anything here because Ange is yet to watch the latest episode, so we'll be nice and not spoil it.
Why can't we be jerks every now and then? Come on. I mean, heck, I got called a jerk today and cussed out.
Partially because I am going to be seeing her Friday and I don't need her kicking my ass. For any more reasons than I've already given her anyway.
Precisely.
Yeah. I have to say, if we ever meet in person, I highly doubt I will feel that way.
Darren might like it.
Meh. We'll see.
He'll like it if you dress up like a bunny girl. Darren, you got quiet over there all of a sudden.
Sorry, I'm too busy staring at some company I have.
Getting back to some of the shows I'm still watching, include How a Realist Hero Rebuilt the Kingdom. I caught up on that last night. That show has actually still been really good in season 2. I am pleasantly surprised at how much I enjoy this series. This most recent episode did have quite the interesting side story. Kind of a neat idea of what the hero wants to do with the kingdom and the direction that he wants to take regarding the slavery in his kingdom. So it's definitely check this series out if you haven't given it a shot yet.
Which one was that?
That was Realist Hero.
Okay, I was about to say, because...
And then you have the Genius Prince.
Episode of Genius Prince?
I have the one where the prince's little sister went to the invitation and party and ended up getting proposed to by one of the 3 brothers. And where she stalls, all of a sudden the prince walks in.
Okay, I think I might be an episode behind.
Oh, I hope I didn't spoil anything. Well, I did a quick summary, so there's a lot more.
I meant the one, well, when I heard slavery, I was kind of thinking along the lines of the prince going a little overboard in regards to a certain somebody.
The problem with me now is I'm watching so much stuff, it's trying to remember what's going on in each one. And then when you factor in, that my wife and I were discussing cosplays for Anime Boston, and some of the stuff that she wanted to do is not going to be feasible for multiple reasons. And I think we're settling on Hibiki from How Heavy Are the Dumbbells You Lift?
Okay.
So that could be an interesting one. We need to find that wig is going to be a pain in the ass to try to find it. I'm betting it's going to be heavy because of the long blonde pigtails and everything. But I know that she wants to do some TikTok videos and bless you. I know she wanted to try to do some AZR TikTok stuff too, Ange, with us at AB. I told her to get in contact with you with the ideas she has.
Wait, what?
My wife wants to do some TikTok videos because she started an AZR TikTok channel as well.
Yep.
But she wants to do some TikToks with you and me in there where we are AZR. So I told her
Okay.
any ideas she had to get in contact with you to see if you would be up for it.
That 100% depends on what she wants to do with them. Like I don't object to being on TikTok. I object to doing certain things.
That's why I figured she can run the ideas by you ahead of time and figure things out.
Fair.
And Nim. Okay. Okay, Ron, I know what you're talking about now, right? And yeah. I'm still I know what you're talking about, and I'm trying to remember the scene. And I don't fully remember it because I've got so much jumbled up there.
Another king. The king says something that he can't forgive. The next thing you know,
Oh yeah. Okay, I remember. The death of somebody who is a douchebag.
yes,
Okay. That guy had it coming. I supported Wines the whole way in that. When he
yeah.
took out that king, I celebrated inside.
Well, not gonna lie, Ninium is probably my favorite from that series.
And Darren, I think you've been trying to watch some Princess Connect Redive. Have you caught up on season 2 yet, or
Yes,
what has your thoughts been?
interesting. It's nice to see he's finally regaining his memories and finally getting some context behind what happened. I still am curious as to the whole deal with a certain somebody, but and why she is so powerful and why she is. Who is she? Because we know who's above her, but why does she have so much influence?
Yeah, it's definitely has been an interesting show, and I think as his memories come back more, he's going to become less of an annoying character.
Of course.
The most recent episode was kind of cute, where they just kind of brought like a whole community together to help Pecorine harvest the rice.
Mm-hmm.
Fun little side quest that happened there, all in regards to the mail.
Mm-hmm.
But Andrew's like, I'm not watching it. I don't know what's going on.
Bingo.
Now,
You're not gonna lie, you're kind of missing out, but you're kind of not.
I
It's a
would,
fun. It must be a fun game. A lot of people play it.
and I would definitely say if you have a season where you don't have a ton that you're watching, I would suggest checking out Princess Connect Redive. Just start with season 1. Just kind of throw it in there as something to, fill in a gap if you only have a couple of shows that you really want to check out.
My watch list for that is already ridiculous.
I think all of ours is, but
if nothing else, watch it for Koro's face she makes.
Like
Her blank expression.
There's a offshoot of Ghost in the Shell standalone complex that's getting a season 2 this season. But then but I haven't actually seen standalone complex at all, so that's on my have to go back and watch, but where to watch it now? Because it's
I made a mistake a couple of years ago by jumping into an anime halfway when I shouldn't have.
Yup.
With JoJo, I watched part 3 before I watched anything else.
Why would you do that to yourself?
Why would you watch JoJo to begin with?
I wasn't quite going there, but yes, let's be real, I was going there.
JoJo is actually not that bad. I can't. It just saying.
No, and my husband agrees with you. He watched Stone Ocean. I did not.
I was turned off by the art style, which is why I won't even give it a try, because I just don't like the art style of it. And it may be a petty reason to not watch a show, but there are people who won't watch shows for pettier reasons.
And no, actually, that is very fair. The reason I won't watch JoJo is because I was told how bad the writing is, and that's a killer for me.
And Ross in the chat room says, what I don't get is why is she still waiting, referring to Pecorine, saying, why is she still waiting to tell Carol and Yuki that she's the princess? Well, in Pecorine's case, I think Carol already knows that she's the princess.
Carol's known since practically the beginning, because that was her job.
Yeah.
Or is that a knows but doesn't know kind of a thing?
It's hard to tell, especially where right off the bat, like we said, Carol was hired to watch and monitor Pecorine as she goes by in the series, her movements, and to keep, almost like take her, basically spy on her and report back to the woman who is the current princess, who basically like took Pecorine's position and banished her from her home.
But does Pecorine know that Carol knows?
No.
Exactly.
And Yuki doesn't know really anything that's going on because he lost all his memories when he was brought back into this world. And it's nice that he's actually saying some words more than, yeah!
Oh, God. Nope.
Just a reminder out there, too, for all of you guys who are in the New England area, if you want to come out and meet Angela and me, we will be at Northeast Comic-Con this Saturday and Sunday coming up. Sunday for part of the day, all day Saturday, out in Boxborough, Mass. at the Boxborough Regency. We're going to be hanging out, having some fun, talking with some of the artists and the guests that are going to be there, doing some press things. So if you're a fan of the show and you want to come meet us and say hi, just look for us. We will be there wandering around aimlessly. I will probably have this hat, so just look for the idiot with the Inuyasha hat and you'll find me. Also, future schedule for conventions coming up. You will find me on April 23rd and 24th at the Vermont Sci-Fi and Fantasy Expo at the Champlain Valley Exposition Center. We will have a table with Anime-Zing Radio at this convention. Looking forward to having some fun there. So if you're in the Vermont, Northern New York area, come on out, say hello. Ange, I know you have a convention that weekend as well.
I will be enforcing PAX East that same weekend. So I will be running around in one of the red shirts. So feel free to come say hi if you see me there.
And as I mentioned earlier, we are proud to be a sponsor of PucciCon that will be going on in May 12th and 13th at the Camelback Resort in the Pocono Mountains of Pennsylvania. Going to be a lot of fun to get out there. Get to a new con. It'll be the first time that we have been there. They have been wonderful to work with thus far. We're hoping that we can get them on the show as a guest sometime in April. also excited that our sponsorship is going to extend into their August or July or August convention that's going to be held in New Jersey. So we're excited to be working with them all year and maybe for years to come. I think it would be fun to have a partnership with a a nice convention that's been around for a bit. Also, at the end of May, you can find Angela and myself again. We will be at Anime Boston. Like I mentioned earlier, fingers crossed that hopefully we can become press. We were supposed to have press in 2020, and everybody knows how that turned out. Thank you, COVID. But, with the addition of Angela, it'll be fun. She kind of takes Darren's place as our third press partner, where Darren is unable to make it up for a multitude of reasons.
Fuel's expensive.
Hey, no one's denying that.
Fuel's expensive, and you also, with it being Memorial Day weekend, your lawn care business is going to be in full swing.
Yep, and I'm sure a couple of other things.
Life, the universe, everything. 42.
And also, if I'm not mistaken, Anime Boston is going to be held the same weekend as Anime-Zing this year, so
Yep.
I will probably be there. I don't know yet. It
Also-
depends, because they really haven't put much detail. I know they put out the link for the hotel bookings. They said it's on this year. In regards to the details for attendance and the guest list, they really haven't said a whole lot, which is kind of surprising given we only have about 2 months to go.
That's how we feel with Anime Boston. They have not announced any guests for Anime Boston. I
They-
do
they-
know for
they're
NECC. Oh, go ahead, Darren.
They're probably trying to make sure that people are going to be available, and also trying to, that way they don't have a wave of cancellations because of XYZ happening at the last moment, like that seems to happen the past 2 years. Because every time they try, a lot of these places try to hold something, 1 or 2 things happen and it just like shuts everything down.
But yeah, it looks like their website, nothing has, looking up Anime-Zing real quick, confirming that it is alleged, if it happens, the same weekend as Anime Boston, but it also looks like nothing has been updated since February.
Yep.
And Anime Boston's website does not show anything for guests or anything of that nature at the moment. I am currently looking on the Anime Boston page. It says no guests currently announced for AB 2022, but please check back often. Also, as in regards to safety measures, I know for Northeast Comic-Con, the mask mandate has been lifted. So you do not have to wear a mask for Northeast Comic-Con. You do not have to be vaccinated. So that the mask mandate has been lifted, at least for some of the events going on in the state of Massachusetts. And that was coming from the Northeast Comic-Con's Facebook page, where they put out an official blurb about it. As for Anime Boston, it's looking like the vaccine will be required for entry into AB 2022. Face coverings are going to be required as well. Cosplay masks and helmets allowed. However, approved face coverings must be worn under the cosplay.
However, that is subject to change. I mean, especially after the city of Boston indoor masks have become optional for the most part.
The mask mandate in New York had been lifted, I want to say like 3 weeks ago, which I was happy about.
The city of Boston, outside of schools, it was lifted yesterday.
For us, we haven't had one in effect since around this time, no, around May or June of last year. The governor basically said it's up to the individual counties, and then from there it was up to the individual mayors.
And for Anime-Zing Radio, we do have some scheduling updates for all of you, our wonderful listeners. We will have a show this Wednesday, March 9th. We're going to be joined by Julili. She is a talented singer, J-pop artist, idol singer. She was the winner of Katsukan Idol a few years ago when I was out there. She's been a guest on the show a few times in the past, so we're excited about welcoming her back. Next Sunday, we are going to be welcoming Aaron Campbell, very talented voice actor. You heard me mention Red earlier when I misspoke about Dani Chambers' character in Banished from the Heroes Party. Red was actually voiced by Aaron. So we are excited about welcoming Aaron to the show. And then, as I mentioned before, we also have March 20th is going to be a cosplayer roundtable. 4 very talented cosplayers are going to be joining us on the show. We're going to have Lilith Fernandez, Madison Walker, Saul Desi, and Elizabeth Forbes are going to be the cosplayers who join us. So excited about that. March 27th, we have Jeff Fulb from Vermont Gatherings, who is the group who puts on the Vermont Sci-Fi and Fantasy Expo, as well as a lot of other awesome little events that go on in Vermont. So it'd be fun to talk with him about that event, do some promotions for them. And then April 3rd is going to be our 8-year anniversary show, which is absolutely crazy to think that we've been doing this 8 years. A lot of changes have happened in those 8 years. We've gone through multiple different co-hosts before finding the amazing team we have now, which I think we have the dream team right now.
That was the best decision you ever made.
I could argue with that, but I won't.
I was the best decision he made till I started falling asleep. That's why you're here.
I was actually not taking a dig at you on that one. I was more being selfish, but hey, I'll take it.
And in all honesty, I had been wanting to add a female perspective to the show for a long time. The problem was finding someone who I trusted to be able to give honest and open opinions without really caring about any flack that they might get.
You guys, I understand that I'm going to consistently get shit for not liking isekai, and that's okay.
I'm not just saying that. I'm saying, like, if you see an anime that you think sucks, you're just going to come out and say it.
Exactly.
Where some people would be like, well, it wasn't that, but no. I'm sorry, Demon Slayer I cannot get into. I'm not going to say it sucks. I'm just going to say I tried 6 episodes and I could not get into it.
Apparently an anime that I really, really liked and can't wait for season 2, which may never happen, is apparently an isekai.
Which one?
Drifters. It's listed as because someone told me it was an isekai. I didn't believe them, but then I looked it up and lo and behold, they were right.
And it's funny, there are shows out there that fall in the isekai genre without really like thinking of it as an isekai. And you can go back to Inuyasha. You can go back, and even Show by Rock technically is an isekai. Because Cyan is not from that world that she ends up with when she joins Plasmagica.
Thank you, Mario. You are awesome.
And for those who don't know, Mario said, that's why we love Angela. If we keep gaining more and more fans out there, it's going to be because everybody loves Angela. And I'll take any subscribers we can get. Speaking of which, our subscriber count continues to grow. Last I saw, it was like 124. And definitely want to thank everybody out there who has subscribed. Keep recommending us. I hope you guys have been enjoying the show. We've been having a lot of fun putting these shows on for you. And I'm doing a check 123. So we're at 123 subscribers. So I was wrong. So, like I said, we want to once we hit 200 subscribers, we're going to be doing a giveaway where one lucky fan gets to sit in the co-host seat for a future voice actor interview. And like I said, I've been reaching out to multiple voice actors, both established and fresh faces in the industry. And how cool would it be to be able to sit beside Darren and Angela and get to talk with Dani Chambers or Aaron Campbell or whomever we may have come on the show down the road. And I know tonight it was a short visit with Dani, but I think that was your first time actually getting to sit down and have a conversation with a voice actor.
Correct.
Yay, we made history tonight.
Because it was supposed to be Rusty Gilligan, but there was issues and he had to cancel last minute because I believe it was weather and power.
Yes. Yeah, he was concerned about power going out due to a major storm that was going through. Next week will be your first full show with a voice actor, as long as Aaron doesn't have to cancel, but he is excited about joining us. And for those of you, if you haven't checked out Aaron's work, he is Red, who is the main male character in Banished from the Heroes Party. He was also the main male character in The Helpful Fox Senko-san, which was an adorable anime. I think you should check out Senko-san, and if you haven't already. That is a cute anime, just kind of, it's one of those mindless ones. Plus, I love Floofy Floof. And he's the one that came out with that.
That was your main reason right there.
And it's going to be a lot of fun to talk with him. Also, Aaron has been announced as one of the guests for PoochieCon. So, a few weeks after we have him here on the show, I'll be able to get a chance to hopefully meet him and possibly hang out with him at PoochieCon. And I think that'll be a lot of fun. They've got some cool guests that have been announced for PoochieCon. I've got to look all that up so I can get all the proper information out. So Jenny Yokobori, Jared Green, and Corina Botinger are all announced as special guests joining Aaron Campbell. So excited about that. They also have some really cool cosplayers that are going to be on hand, including Symmetry Cosplay, Shannon Noel, Allison Burbs, Torami Cosplay. They also have a maid cafe. The Milk Pink Maid Cafe is going to be there. So that could be kind of neat to see. It's been a while since I've been to a maid cafe at a con. I guess Anime Boston had a maid cafe at one point, but I never knew that.
Same. AKA, I didn't know that.
I know AAC had one once. I know Bakuretsu attempted one once, and I know Katsukan a few times has had a maid cafe. But I don't know how good that any of them were or anything like that. Those are just the ones that I've heard of and know about.
I don't know.
Are there any maid cafes in your area, Darren?
There's a maid cafe that's held, a maid and butler cafe that's held every year during Anime-Zing, but as far as an actual cafe, not to my knowledge.
And Ross is asking, what are those like? Has anyone been to one before? When cons here, I can never go to one because I'm always scheduled to work.
I have.
You've been to a maid cafe?
Well, the one inside the convention that they hosted inside the convention center, but yes.
What was your experience like with the maid and butler cafe?
It was kind of nice. Of course, the little stick the maid did with you did feel a little forced, but it was genuine. It was fun. And then for I think it was like a couple dollars, you for depending on what you did, you had got to do special activities with the maid. Like play a game, do this, do that. So it was very similar to that of a real maid cafe in Japan. And my friend authenticated that, I believe, when he came on and also talked to me. And also, it was kind of nice because you kind of got put in a group. The table you sat at, you kind of got put in a group, and we got to chit chat with some other cosplayers and other people in general. It was kind of a nice way to connect, kind of being forced to connect for introverts like myself and my friends.
That sounds kind of interesting. Now, there's a lot of things that go on, and because I know a lot of us watch Japanese, or not Japanese YouTubers, but YouTubers who live in Japan and cover the culture and stuff. Is there some of the stuff that goes on in Japan that we think would be a hit here in the U.S.? Like, do we think maid cafes could
The
be a thing here in the in different parts of the country, or do you think it's just too far fetched that the Western civilization, us here in the U.S., most people would kind of shun away from it?
well, and it kind of started off as a French thing, if you really want to think about it, because the term French maids.
But I am inclined to believe that, not sure about the West as a whole, but I don't know if the idea would stick in Boston outside of people like us who follow anime and or Japanese culture.
One type of cafe, it may not be a maid cafe, but it's various types of cafes in Japan. Animal cafes are kind of becoming slowly working their ways into the American landscape here and there.
That I will agree. There was supposed to be a cat cafe literally within walking distance of my house, but that was a big shit show, and it is now just a cat rescue place. But it was empty for a very long. The building was empty for quite some time before that happened.
Unfortunately, I think it works so well in the East because of the mannerisms and stuff and how they're raised towards animals versus here in the West. It's viewed fairly different. So I think that has a lot to do with it.
That's a good possibility. I mean, definitely two different cultures between Japanese culture and American culture.
Exactly. And actually one of the more recent videos we watched from Sea Dog VA actually gets into one of those types of things that is very common in Japan, but would never ever take in Western culture.
I think I know the one you're talking about, where they made the anime about renting a girlfriend. Are you referring to renting a mom and sister?
Yes. And they get very much into like the business end of things, and they spoke about what they've done as what they've been hired to do by other clients, and it was just one of those really interesting bits of Japanese culture that I didn't even know about. And it's fascinating, but something like that would never take in the West.
Oh, definitely not. I mean, it would be interesting enough to like even think about something like that, but you know that it would never fly, especially in the U.S. And I don't know if you had a chance to watch that video or not, Darren, but it's worth checking out.
I have not.
It's definitely worth checking out because Sea Dog has a couple of videos where he rented a person or persons.
Yep.
Uh,
And he did it for the sake of the content.
Mm-hmm.
And it's
I like when he does stuff like that because he does ask questions about and tries to find out about the logistics behind it, not just, oh look, I rented a boyfriend, because he rented a boyfriend or had a boyfriend rented for him. But he tried to understand why that's a thing in Japan, why there is a need for that. Same thing with renting a mother and a sister.
And those are things just like in the US, it would just never fly.
And it's kind of neat though when you watch these videos. And we did watch the Ken Watanabe video with Abroad in Japan today. That was very
So
fascinating.
did we.
It was very fascinating where Chris Broad and Chris, if you're ever watching one of our shows, because sometimes we do talk about you, and you want to come on the show, feel free to shoot me a message. We would love to have you on the show. We can ask you why you never do any videos with Gigic. Taking him for granted.
That I was gonna say that's it largely they did talk about that in an episode of Trash Taste, and now that's going to be a thing. I'm hoping that's a thing.
If they do a taken for granted, because Gigic's name is Garnt.
That was the joke they made on Trash Taste.
If they did that, I would definitely watch.
Same.
Because if it wasn't for Gigic, I don't think I would have ever discovered Joey or Connor. And if it wasn't for Darren, I wouldn't have discovered any of them.
The funny thing is, I have my husband to thank for all of it, because I came home, what was it? He had found Tokyo Creative first, found one of Chris's videos through Tokyo Creative, and then went, oh wait, Anne should probably like this. And then, of course, what did we do? Of course I did. And of course, we just started watching literally everything from Chris. And then I get introduced to everybody else one at a time.
And Ross in the chat room was asking, what's Gigic? And it's actually Gigguk for Gigic. And Gigic is a YouTuber who specializes in providing anime material and some Japanese culture stuff from time to time. His most recent video was him creaming his pants over Demon Slayer. To just sum it up, that's basically all it was him creaming his pants over Demon Slayer Season 2 and how amazing it is. And like I said earlier, if it's going to take 19 episodes before something's going to interest me, I'm going to drop it like that. I'm not going to waste my time to go 3/4 of the way through a season to find a show that's going to just like impress me.
The power of unlimited budget works.
Like, I'll admit, Gigic is the one that I've not seen anything of outside of Trash Taste.
I think Gigic puts on some really, really funny videos, some really good videos. And we watched a video where he got pissed off at the Crunchyroll Awards. And then because of his Demon Slayer video he put out, he amended some of his comments.
But no, I've been watching more from Connor and Joey. But hey.
And HH says, well, Ross, I'm in the same boat. I can go to Boxborough easily, except it's my niece's birthday party this one Sunday. We'll be there Saturday, HH, if you want to come out and say hi. We're going to be there all day Saturday. Sunday, we have to cut it short because I've got to be on the road no later than 1 p.m. to be home in time for the radio show. I have a little bit of a drive. I think it's like 4.5 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Little less than the drive I took today, which was like 5+ hours this morning. And has a little less of a drive.
Where as the crow flies, I think distance wise, it's only. I looked it up and I don't remember what the mileage is, but there's no direct way to get there. So it's about an hour drive, give or take.
Yeah. But that's because coming from Boston, there is no direct route to get to 495. You have to kind of zigzag through a bunch of areas.
Exactly.
I know that area all too well.
Exactly. And Boston, 495. Blah. I used to live out on the other side, closer to the 495 belt. I don't anymore.
I used to live at the beginning of the 495 belt down in Wareham, Mass, where 495, 195 all came together.
I live close to the 440 belt line, which neither of you are familiar with.
Correct.
I feel so left out over here.
I did.
You don't have to feel left out, Darren. You're still awake.
Yeah.
And I'm probably closer to sleep than you are at this point.
Want to bet? I'm surrounded by waifus and I could drift off to dreamland in a heartbeat right now.
I'm in the same boat, and yep, I was just about to point that out.
Ross says, I need to bring this up quickly, but Paramount Plus came out with a live-action Fairly Odd Parents series.
Saw the commercials.
I don't know what to think of that. I remember the cartoon. I used to watch that with my ex-stepson, my ex-wife's son.
I've never seen the show.
We've even had a cosplayer friend of ours, Daniel Giovannucci, on the show, who has cosplayed as Jorgen von Strangle, the head of the fairies. And he does a really good. He even has the voice down. He's really good. That's one of his best cosplays I've seen him do.
The rules.
Excuse me.
But we want to thank everybody for tuning in tonight. A big thank you to Dani Chambers. Unfortunately, she could only hang with us for about a half hour. But we will have her back on in the future. A lot of good stuff coming down the road. As she said, follow her on social media. She will make cast announcements when she can. Obviously, all of the voice actors we bring on the show are typically working on things they cannot talk about for various reasons. And excuse me.
Thank you, Ross. You as well.
Have a wonderful night, Ross. Thank you, Mario, Ross, HH, everybody who was in the chat room for watching us and commenting and asking questions. It's always a lot of fun talking with you guys. Love the interaction. Keep it up. Recommend our show to all of your friends out there. Help us hit that 200 subscriber mark as quick as we can. We also want to hit 500 subscribers by the end of the year. Help us reach that goal. Also, help support the show if you can. Hit that, just click that link or join us down at the link just below my picture on Patreon/Anime-Zing Radio. Help us to continue funding the show. All proceeds that come from our Patreon go into equipment and stuff for the show. Helps to pay the bills to keep this show running, and also helps us to focus on future conventions, future events, and at some point, all of us being able to possibly do a live show from the same location. How weird would that be? But also, keep an eye on our Facebook, facebook.com/Anime-Zing Radio. We are going to have some guest announcements coming up. I do have something in the works. that I'm just waiting to finalize a date. But a big guest we had back on in 2018 could be making an appearance again once we finalize the dates. And I think a lot of you guys out there will be excited and won't want to miss this show. That show, based on the people we have coming on, I know is going to be a weeknight, so it's a little different for us, but you definitely don't want to miss if and when we can get them back on the show. So until Wednesday night when we welcome Julie, and Sunday night when we have Aaron Campbell on the show, stay safe out there. Thank you for tuning into Anime-Zing Radio, and have a wonderful week.
Bye.